Hi there, this is Harvest and Drew from Sunrise Harvest Mushroom Farm, and if you have purchased or been gifted a grow bucket, a 5-gallon grow kit, this is what you're going to get. You can get a roll of tape, 2 little packets of lime, 1 pound of grain spawn, and this nice big bag of chopped straw. What you're gonna do is fill a 5-gallon bucket of water. Mix in 1 packet of your lime. We're giving you 2 just in case you spill one or you want to do the project again. It'd be good to wear a respirator if you're sensitive to small particles. And use gloves. Now what I'm seeing is the water turning a nice milky white. I'll take a picture and add it to the video. And we've weighed out the proper amount of lime for this amount of straw for a 5-gallon kit. So you don't have to do the pH strips. But Drew's gonna dip it in and show you.
Looks like about 11.
11 pH, and that's perfect.
It's a 0 to 14 scale.
This is a compostable bag, so do feel free to reuse it. I'll try not to make the knot too tight. Chopped straw. Now you can do this in your 5-gallon bucket, but I think it's best to do it in just something a little bit larger. Whatever you have at home, even one of those plastic totes would be perfect. We're gonna dump in the straw and we're gonna add our pH tested lime water to it. At this point, we want to submerge the straw. So we're going to go ahead and mix it up. And it's helpful to have another container in similar size. And since we already have one going on here, please feel free to use whatever containers you have. We're going to just mix it up pretty good. This bucket has holes in the bottom. So what we're seeing here, and I'll take a picture of it for you, is the water is coming to about 1 inch above the surface in this bucket. That means your straw is perfectly submerged. What we don't want to do is put something too heavy that completely compresses the straw that's supposed to absorb the water. So we want to just have it 1 inch or 2 above the surface with a weight. This is a little 10-pound weight. And then you're gonna let this sit overnight, 24 hours, 12 to 24 hours. I like 24. And in 24 hours, you're gonna take out the straw.
Remove the weight.
And you're gonna drain it.
You're gonna remove this bucket that has the holes in it. Now it's really simple. You just transfer this lime straw after 24 hours into this bucket.
And you let it drain for 12 to 24 hours. I've done 12 and I've done 24. What you're aiming for is to have your straw be dry enough to not drip water. You don't want this. This is not dry enough and your bucket will get contaminated. You want it to be able to squeeze it pretty hard and have like maybe 1 drop of water come out of it. That's what you are aiming for. So in 12 hours, if you don't have that, you need to mix up that draining straw or get a different container that allows you, even crates, milk crates, anything like that, something that will allow it to drip and drain to a squeezed 1 droplet of water before you add your grain spawn.
So now we're going to simulate that this straw has been drained, and we've squeezed it, and we've got about a drop out.
Yep, so if you have your drained straw in 12 to 24 hours, you are also included in your bucket this single pound of grain spawn, and it will be labeled with which type it is. And you're going to cut this open, and with your drained straw, you're going to cut this open, mix it up in there. The whole entire thing you're going to mix up in this 5-gallon bucket of drained straw. Once it's completely mixed, you are then going to take your bucket that you've been given, and we're going to have the holes already taped for you, but we've included more tape for your second and third flushes if you need it. So you're going to put the drained mixed straw into this 5-gallon bucket, put the lid on top, and wait. How long are we going to wait, Drew?
I'd say you're going to put this thing in a dark space, a dark, cool space. So maybe your garage, somewhere, unless your garage is really hot.
Room temperature.
So,
Let's
yeah.
aim for room temperature.
It could even be in your closet in your house. So 2 to 3 weeks, I think this thing is going to start pushing the tape out.
You're going to see it bubble out.
You're going to see this tape is going to have a little bump on it. Once you see that, it's time to come out into the daylight. It's time for things to happen. So we're going to take it out. We're going to set it in a cool environment where now it's exposed to light up to 12 hours a day.
Yep. And after it's exposed to the light, you're bringing it into fruiting conditions. You're going to be misting the holes every single day, 4 to 6 times a day. Now, that is a rough estimate. If you have a drier home, you're pulling out more moisture than typically you're going to see the dry tape. You want to spray it. You want to see the little water droplets on the side of the bucket. And once you don't see the water droplets, you want to spray it. So every time you go to the bathroom, every time you pass by, just look at it. And you're bringing it into fruiting conditions at the same temperature, about 72 would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, we're not spraying inside the lid.
Do not remove the
The
lid.
lid stays on. You just spray the holes on the outside. It'll go through the tape. Once the mushrooms do start coming out, now you're going to actively spray more often. You're going to pay a lot more attention to it, because once they start growing, they're going to grow fast. And if you miss, I guess, a day of spraying them,
Yeah.
they're going to stall and they're not going to get any bigger.
They're going to shrivel.
Which is fine. Just pull them off, put the tape back on, and wait for a second flush.
Wait again, and that's about 2 to 3 weeks for the second flush. Each additional flush is going to be about a week or 2 longer, and we've gotten multiple flushes. We've gotten probably 6, but we're waiting at the same time. We have it in a spot in the shade after about the 3rd flush. We have it in a cooler area that we're walking by every day, and we see, okay, the bucket is fruiting again. So if you wait, it will continue to fruit. If you don't want to wait, I would suggest after about the 3rd or 4th flush that you open your bucket and you find somewhere in the shade in your garden, either with mulch, fresh mulch, or a pile of leaves that you have raked up around your home. Layer it with that leaves or that mulch. Take out what's in the bucket, put it in this little dip or hole, cover it again with leaves, and if you will just maybe apply a little bit of a spray a few times a week.
Yeah, keep it moist, let it not get dry out. The goal is to keep it moist. After a good hard rain, if you haven't been paying attention to it, go check it, because it's probably going to have mushrooms coming out of it.
Yeah.
And it'll continue to do that until it either runs out of food or dries out.
Yeah. So we have mushrooms popping out of our yard right now from last year, and I know that because the last time that we did pink oyster mushrooms was a while ago.
It's summertime.
The pink oyster really loves high humidity and a higher temperature, so you can get away with higher temperatures. Just keep it within 75 temperature range when you have it fruiting indoors for you. Outside, it's open to the elements and you're gonna get what you get. But you're still gonna get more mushrooms, most likely. Just put it somewhere where you walk by regularly so you don't miss it.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
When you're done with the bucket, you've emptied it out, and now you've got an empty bucket with holes in it that's not good for much else. Remember, you have more of this hydrated lime. So if you want to do this process over again, you've got partially what you needed. You buy a bale of chopped straw from anywhere really, but Tractor Supply is where we got this, and it works really well for this process. $16 for that bag, and you can probably get 9 5-gallon buckets out of that bag. The only thing you're missing would be the grain spawn, which we do offer. We offer it in 1 pound packages so that you can do 1 5-gallon bucket at a time. However, if you want to do several, then we'll just meet you order where you want it.
Yeah, this is a pretty addictive process. Once you see mushrooms popping out of this bucket
that you created,
that you mixed and waited for, it's like a gestation period. You're gonna really enjoy this and want to maybe do one for your kids or do one for a friend. It's a great gift to give as well. You can buy our 5-gallon bucket kits, and I think those would probably be pretty easy to ship. But also, I always recommend that you look for a local mushroom grower in your area. Yes, we can provide you these things, but honor your community and buy local. So I consider local within an hour. You won't really need to be paying shipping, and like I said, you'll bless your community where you live.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have a local mushroom grower, please do purchase from us.
Or become the local mushroom grower.
Yes, because now you grew it.
To teach you how to do this process.
Yeah.
And we're also willing to teach people how to do the more advanced levels of growing. So look us up. Like us on Facebook.
Sunrise Harvest Mushroom Farm. Thank you so much.
Happy growing.
Enjoy your bucket.
Let me say that again. What I like to do is take straw from one side of the barrel and keep bringing it over to the top until I have a small cavity. Then when I push this down, it kind of rolls and it gets the lime off the bottom of the barrel and mixes it in so that I've got a really good mix that way. So I do that right before I close it up. Push all the straw down on the edges. Put my bucket back on with a little bit of weight. Boom. That's just 1 brick. And it should be enough weight to hold it down. I would come out and check it again in an hour to make sure it didn't swell up and push up. If it did, then you need a little bit bigger weight.
And it would be okay to readjust and mix the lime in again that is settling at the bottom.
Absolutely. You're not going to hurt it by mixing it more.